Hey everyone, how's it going? Dan here with Precision Knife Works. Today going through a tutorial of how I laser engrave jimping on hardened stainless steel knife blades. To start off, I'm using light burn. Jimping is basically a bunch of rectangles. Depending on the size of the jimping, you could do your widths or lengths, depending on what you want. And once you have your jimping drawn out, height, width, spacing all done, then I'll open up my parameters. And my first set of parameters, I've made my speed set to 300, my power set to 70%, frequency 25%. This is usually default, or this was default settings on my laser. Line intervals, line per inch. Scan angle, I set it to 90 degrees. Number of passes is 50. So this is all the settings for this parameter. This is the actual cutting part. It actually cuts the jimping in. So if you want to pause the video and set these settings to your laser. I have a 60 watt mobile laser, but it should work on the 20 or 30 watt fiber laser also. This is a subcategory folder. So your first folder, this one makes the actual cut. Cuts the jimping in, and does all that. And then you click this, and it basically clones everything to a subcategory. You would go here, you set your speed to 2000, your max power to 20%. All the rest of the settings, leave them as is. What this does is after the jimping is cut, this cleans everything up. I'll run a laser and I'll show you the results after. It cleans up all that. For the most part, it cleans up all the black oxide layer or whatever that layer is that happens during laser engraving. It cleans it up mostly. So you don't have to follow up with like a wire wheel or sandblasting or anything. It's pretty much off the laser. You're for the most part all done. So here it is. This much jimping and these processes will take probably 3 to 4 minutes. I'll start it so you get an idea what it looks like. I'll pause the video, I'll go back on the cleanup passes, take a video there, and then once it's all done, I'll show the final result. Also, something very important before I run the laser. Specifically, I'm running a 110mm lens on this laser. The object has to be perpendicular. In my case, I've had trouble with the engraver not engraving properly if there was a slight tilt. So I actually need to build a better work fixture, but all I have is a clamp. It's holding the blade. So very simple, but you can 3D print a fixture or mill a fixture to you want it locked in place, that's all. And we start. And this is the cleaning process. And here it is, all done. Bunch of little lines and be able to just wash them off. Just some like powder that didn't come off. This is right off the laser. And this is a fine jimping. If you want to deepen it. What I recommend, what I was taught, was to take more passes. You can increase the power. If you do that, it basically heats everything up, and if you run it hotter, you run a risk of ruining your heat treat, your temper of it, and some other problems possibly can happen. Yeah, this is process of laser engraving jimping. I probably will adjust settings for it in the future. I might take 20 more passes to deepen it a little more. But yeah, that's the whole process of laser engraving jimping.